interesting discussion. If what we're doing is saying, okay, these universities, these places of higher education, and obviously Harvard is considered to be the highest of the high education standards. If Asians are writing the entry exams and are winning in terms of they have the highest marks on whatever the entrance exams are for Harvard, and you're not filling Harvard with Asians, then, okay, we're not having an intelligent discussion about that either. It's, okay, that's fine. I understand you saying, okay, we want, legacy students from previous Harvard graduates reserve this many spaces, and we need this many black people, and we need this many, whatever it is that we're deciding. We need this many women at Harvard. Well, okay, then don't talk about Harvard as having the highest possible academic standards, because you're changing your academic standards in order to generate quotas. And I just, I'm happy to have any discussion that any feminist wants to have about anything, but let's decide what it is that we're discussing and discuss that. If we're discussing academic standards, okay, great. Then Harvard should be almost all Asian students. If we're talking about quotas, this is how many women have to be admitted at Harvard every year. Well, okay, then that has nothing to do with academic standards. That has to do with identity politics. That's a completely different thing. Do you want to talk about academic standards, or do you want to talk about identity politics? I'm happy to talk about either one, but don't start talking about the one and then start talking about the other and try and convince me that you're sane. You're not. You're nutty as a fruitcake.
Well, Brian asked.
Brian West did ask. So there's my answer. Is I think all of this is hidden because it's how many women actually believe that identity politics is as important or more important than academic standards when you're talking about Harvard. I don't know. They're not saying much, but I think that has more to do with the fact that feminism is a dictatorship. And you know that if you say something that the feminists don't agree with, there are very, very severe consequences of that, particularly in the academic world. But that's another discussion again. That's like, well, do you want to be Beijing or do you want to be Washington? I'll be happy to talk about means by which Beijing is able to impose itself and completely negate human freedom. But if you want to discuss that, let's discuss that. If we want to discuss democracy, and we want to discuss how our society should be run, you can't do that under Beijing rules. You have to do that under Washington rules.
Well, thinking about it beforehand, Brian's question about interchangeability and identity, I kept, for some reason, thinking about there was Ripley's Believe It or Not had a TV show for the longest time. And one of the guys they showed in the opening of the show is this guy that went out and got surgery on his tongue, so it's a split tongue, and got tattoos all over his body so he looks like a reptile. And he wears contact lenses so he's got reptile-looking eyes. And, whenever I think about it, okay, he identifies as a reptile, but he's not. I mean,
Okay, see, right there, I'm not sure that you're on side with our society when you say that. I agree with you 100% that that's exactly what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, this is one guy who's, I'm going to say, fun at parties, to be polite. I mean, I don't think that we need. I don't think if he were to come forward saying I'm a reptile American and I need to, have special accommodations for my reptilianness, and at a certain point, listen, buddy. I mean, it's nice that you had a lot of money and a lot of free time, but unless you're setting up a community in Arizona of like-minded individuals where you're all going to lay on rocks and bikinis and speedos and be reptilian, I don't see it as you're a reptile. You're just a guy that figured out a way to get on TV every week.
Right. And it's it's the same as one of the clerks at one of the stores downtown was talking about the sketchy people coming in today. That it had been an interesting day in the store, I guess. And it's like, and then we sort of started talking about what are you even allowed to call people now? Like, sketchy seems, considering the people that we're talking about, charitable, extremely charitable. Not that I have anything against sketchy people, and not that I have anything against people who are homeless, not that I have anything against people who are poor. When I'm going to the dollar store to buy my tuna, because the dollar store tuna is $1 a can, and every place else is like $2.50, $3. If there's somebody outside the dollar store and they ask me for change, it's like, no, I'm not going to give you money because I have no idea if you're going to spend it on alcohol or drugs or something. But if you want to come in the dollar store, I'll buy you some food. Like, if you want some food. The last guy, it was like, okay, I'll buy you some food if you like. He goes, can you get me some licorice also? And I went, no, I'm not going in to shop for you. I will pay for your food. You go in and buy your food. But it's like, they want 5 chocolate bars, and it's like, okay, I will buy you the 5 chocolate bars. You're theoretically an adult, but there are much better choices in the dollar store for the money that I'm going to spend on those chocolate bars for you. And then there was like this cans of an energy drink. I don't know if this is just a Canadian energy drink. Rockstar?
No, that's they have that everywhere.
Okay, all right. You saw that, and it's like, ooh, can I have that instead? And it's like, no, you can have that in addition. You can have licorice, all sorts, and a can of Rockstar. And I said, do you want 2 cans of Rockstar? Yeah, he'll take 2 cans of Rockstar. It's like, okay, I'm not doing you any favors here health-wise, but there you go. Like, there's something wrong with these people walking around loose, as far as I'm concerned. And it's like, don't tell me that I'm a bigot because I'm buying these people food, but I'm saying they shouldn't be running around loose. It's not a good idea for them. It's not a good idea for us. You're not allowed to say anything about any of that anymore because it's everybody is either an extreme left-wing feminist or a Nazi. So pick your team, and it's like, well, I guess I'm over here with the Nazi.
But I worked with a guy that was drinking energy drinks a lot. Like, he was having 2 or 3 a day. And he's got a family history of kidney stones. And he started having pain in his abdomen. And he talked to his dad. And his dad's like, you're getting kidney stones because you're drinking too many energy drinks. It's got, I forget what vitamin it is, that it calcifies and gives you kidney stones. And he's going, okay, I got to quit this. And every day when he tells me this. And then I see him drinking one. I'm like, well, I thought you couldn't have those. He's like, yeah, but I really need it. And I'm like, but you know it's bad for you. Like, physically have proof it's not good for you, and you're still doing it. And he's like, well, I'm drinking a lot of lemonade because the citrus in the lemonade helps melt the calcium deposits. And I'm going, or you could stop drinking the energy drinks. So then this kid that I still... This kid that I work with now, yesterday or the day before, came out of the break room. He had an energy drink, and I'm like, you're going to get kidney stones. He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm telling him about this other guy that we used to work with, and he's like, oh, I think I'll be okay. And I'm like, you're 19. I understand you think you're invincible. I'm just at a guy that's 40. I'm telling you, the decisions you make today are going to come back to haunt you in 20 years.
Yeah. As my dad used to say, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself.
Which, isn't that a line you gave Service in Guys?
Oh, I'm sure I did. As I always tell people, I don't think my father ever made up one of those, but anytime he heard a good one, it got filed away, and he would trot it out. You're walking around outside on a nice day, and you go, nice out. And then you leave a pause, and then you go, I think I'll leave it out.